Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm looking at dkoldies once again. I did a video a few days ago, and this thing seems to be going on and on and on as if though it's never going to reach an end. Also, forgive my voice; I'm not too well, so I sound a little weird. But yeah. So last time I looked at it from my own perspective, as much as I didn't buy anything from them, with all the stuff that happened and everything that I was able to go through. Personally, I believe they were a complete scam. And I needed to actually see how they would react to the situation before I made another video. And I also, at the same time, looked into them a bit more and found other things that seem to make a lot of sense. Now, I'm sure, as most of you have seen by now, many of you are aware, those of you who are familiar with consoles, rather, except for the average person, whenever you buy anything that's used, especially a console, there's always dust inside, unless it's been refurbished. And all of the dust has been completely removed, which is what DK Oldies claim. They always claim their stuff is refurbished and everything's all in good and pristine condition. They even went to the extent of showing us a video where they took a Wii apart and they blew the dust out, replaced the lasers, tested it out, stuff like that. However, with the volume of stuff that they're getting in, I highly doubt that they're doing this with every single unit. They will need an insane amount of manpower, and on top of that, this is not something that's new. It's been going on for some time. So I've been digging around Wayback Machine stuff, all that kind of things. I can't really find anything on Wayback Machine that's not really out there, but there's just kinds of weird things over here. Just old stuff from the pages the way it used to appear, I would think. I can't really find many customer complaints and stuff like that on the Wayback Machine, or maybe I'm just not looking hard enough or don't really know the terms I should be looking for. However, I have found another site, dkoldies.pisscustomer.com. Now, they've got a 2.1 user rating over here, and that's from 12 reviews. And there are some positive ones. Perfect service. I've received the system. I ordered the GameCube system. I review, not a complaint. This was in August of 2001. Fine. 19 Feb 2020 or 2023. Um, Been calling for 2 weeks for my GameCube. I paid, order number. No one will get back to me. Maybe they're busy. Maybe the lines are just going all over the place. Who knows? That's around the same time when everybody was actually calling them out for selling junk and stuff like that. Perfect service received, and I have ordered a GameCube system. Okay, good. Now this one is the interesting one for me. February 2021. In this one, emails go poof. Basically, have you ever noticed that when you do say adverse things regarding anything about DK Oldies, it goes poof, never to be seen again. The only platforms for any customer, for any companies where they have no control over what they say, like here. However, post on their Facebook page and they can manipulate it to use their advantage and make it seem as if though they are wonderful. Same with Twitter and other company review sites. So just make sure you're on a site where they can't touch or manipulate, which can even be your own platform because legally they can't touch it to enhance their reputation. Also check shipping, as it may not leave PA for days, literally uninsured to boot. That was prior to the storm. Now this was in 2021. May 18th, 2021. Exactly, they delete bad reviews or get friends and family to write good reviews. Bad customer experience, December 13, 2021. Now, I'll admit all companies have good and bad customer complaints. There is no company out there that does not have one. However, there is a bit of a pattern here that I want to try to establish, and that is they always claim their stuff is up to a certain standard. It's been refurbished, it's new, this condition, that condition, whatever it is. But it doesn't seem to be the case with almost everything that they've been shipping out lately. There are a few guys out there who've been posting positive videos and stuff. Obviously, those would be the exception to the rule, but how is it possible that so many different YouTubers, people who don't even know each other in their personal lives, maybe met online or whatever it is, how is it that every single one of them are getting such bad consoles out of it? And on top of that, there's a little sticker on these DK Oldies units, the little warranty void if removed sticker, as you'd get from an actual company. They've got the sticker there, that it's warranted for a year. Obviously, if something goes wrong and if you're a bit suspicious about it, should you open it up afterwards or should it die out after a year? They can be, hey, look, you didn't use the system properly, or it's the reason it's full of dust is because you were negligent or whatever it is. Meanwhile, the console that they've just sold you was actually just dug out from underground, quite literally, maybe, I don't know, and just shipped to you without being tested and stuff like that. These things happen. Believe it or not, companies have lazy employees, but at the same time, some companies have very shady business practice. And so far, dkoldies appears to be those kind of company, or those kind of guys. Motor took weeks to arrive, and once it did, it was broken, didn't work. I've reached out several times to get it replaced, no avail. Best part, every time is I leave a review on their website, it automatically deletes it. Pretty funny. User recommendation, do not buy from them, find someone else. And this is in December of 2020. That's like almost 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Owner and customer service ignoring me, bad packaging for years. Most of my orders were broken or with issues. Now customer service and even the owner are ignoring me. Sure, they said they could exchange my most recently broken game, but then ignored all the other questions till I complained to the owner. Then the owner didn't even respond, but had the rude service rep email me questions, all the questions he previously ignored. Now they both ignore me as I try to finalize an exchange. Garbage. Should have known better with my first order. Majora's Mask showed up smashed to pieces because of the poor packaging, and still the same packaging for single cartridges years later. Shop around, they don't have the exclusive services or best prices anyways. This was in December 2020, and these pictures, as much as they're in bad condition, this is the quality of the game that was delivered. And I don't know much about Nintendo 64. It never really came to our country as far as I know. It's not in South Africa, or never was. And from what I understand, if it's a gold cartridge, that means it's uh, sort of more pricey, I would think, as opposed to the gray one. But I can see it's broken. Obviously, this could have happened in shipping. It does appear to have happened in shipping. But at the same time, with the way they package stuff online, you would think that everything is quite secure when it leaves their door. Excuse me. I was looking for a Sega Genesis Shadowrun manual to complete my copy. It was out of stock, so I chose the option to be notified when it was back in stock again. Got the notification, bought it immediately. 2 days after I purchased it, which was a Friday, I got an email saying it was shipped and they provided a tracking number. Then on Monday, they canceled my order and gave me a refund saying it was out of stock. They need a better system to get my hopes up thinking it was purchased. Okay, so this is just more of a stock error than anything else. Understandable. It happens when companies have high volumes of stock. Errors will be made. Sometimes things get passed under quality control and it just gets shipped out. It happens. This is November 13th, 2019. Thought I would try selling to dkoldies well over 25 vintage games in 3 systems, original Game Boy, various add-ons, whatever it is. I contacted them through email, got a quote, and they lowballed me $32 the Game Boy and case alone, $70 on their site. Really, the person had no negotiation skills at all. I was looking to get rich of these games, so really, yes, how they offer pennies for excellent games. My advice: avoid this site. A lot of the times, things are worth more to a certain person than they are to anybody else. It's just the way the world works. But sometimes, with these retro systems, you kind of go onto eBay, or there's even Price Check or PriceChart.com or whatever it is, where you can see what the general average prices are for many things and then gauge it from there. Obviously, they would want to secure everything as low as possible and then sell it as high as possible while claiming it's refurbished. And the reason why it's so expensive is because they took it apart, they've cleaned it, and now you've got effectively the next best thing to a brand new unit, effectively. So that's where the problem comes in. Didn't receive my refund. Tony, okay, sorry, man. Those things do happen. Didn't receive my. They normally sell games that don't play correctly. Interesting. This was in 2017, December 29, 2017. I recently purchased an original NES game called Bubble Bubble. Hey, it's a nice one. I played that on a generic 8-bit or 16-bit system. Obviously, that was the illegal copy with the 201 or 301 cartridges. Fun game, though. I was a kid. I was like 6 or 7. So, yeah. More than 20 years ago. It was one of my childhood favorites that has lots of nostalgia attached to it. It arrived, it was glitchy, and the gameplay to a certain point. It was so bad at effective gameplay, I contacted customer service and they told me to try cleaning it, which they were supposed to have done. I made that point clear. They told me to send it back. They paid for shipping. Okay, good service so far. They supposedly cleaned it and tested, shipped it back. This time the cartridge arrived broken and still played glitchy. Then I contacted customer service again, sent it back for exchange. They sent me a replacement and the replacement is also glitchy. Contacted customer service, several back and forth. One of the reps, Scott, tells me that it's the game design's fault. It's not the faulty game cartridge. He says it's a known issue that is the fault of the game designers porting the original arcade game into a NES format. Now, I played the game exclusively on NES growing up and never had that problem. He insists that the cartridge versions won't play correctly on the NES. I asked for a partial refund of my money I spent since they charge over $20 for a used game that they know doesn't play correctly because I'd keep it for nostalgic purposes. Da da da. How shameless. The only resolution he offered was a full refund for me to send it back a third time. I was very unhappy about this in customer service. Okay, that's a bit of a tough one there. I don't know what to say. Sounds like they did everything possible to please you. What else can you expect them to do? I expect them not to sell games to not know it work properly in a certain point to the highest priced games. And I don't want them lying to me about why it doesn't work. I was willing to keep the game at a discount, but they were unwilling to do so, and I had no other copies who don't have the same problem. Worst complaint ever. I'm on your side. So that's one over there. That's a bit of a 50-50 kind of thing. About the NES port, though, can people confirm that I don't know much about it? So if anybody can confirm if that is actually real or not, that'll be helpful. Spiral Orange Review. I thought I was ordering a game cartridge, which is even said until I actually paid for it. Confirmation emails, trackers was sent. The only thing I skimmed through was, since I was unsure about it, instead I just received the manual to the game. Why would I order that? And I even checked the other game and they tried to pull the same thing. So basically you ordered a game in 2017 and you got the manual, not the game itself. I was told 3 to 4 times throughout my purchase that my product would be clean and work. Sadly, that's not the case. My cartridge does not work and was not cleaned. I'll never order here again. This was in November 2016. There's a pattern over here. Now, either look, everybody is wrong somehow or something else is going on. I recently purchased a black GameCube pack, which should include the hookups and the controller, but what I got instead was just the consoles, no card, no control. Great company to work with. This is in 2016. Purchased from them. There was a shipping issue, not their fault. When the package was returned to them, they were nice enough to send it back at their cost. Call friendly response. Okay, good for you, man. 2016. dkoldies. I show a package as well to DK, was intelligent. I think they are frauding the IRS, not cutting taxes in the company. The checks they write have a stamp on it. They're not trusted by the BBB banks. Red flags on them. They will not cash them. They left out my Sunset Riders SNES. That Miguel guy is not trustworthy. He just left it out and he wanted it for his own. I spent $450, got $418 back. This was in 2016, so things were a bit rough. Then the other parts of this is Jacob R, and this is where he's looking at a replacement PS3 that they sent to him. Now, effectively, they claim that this thing was obviously a refurbished unit that they sent to him and they replaced it. They apologized for the initial one, which looked like it was in the middle of a desert storm. In fact, the picture in the background here is pretty accurate as far as where we suspect the previous unit came out of. Now, what I do find interesting is when he did take this thing apart, there were some things inside of the case that I noticed as well, dust-wise. It doesn't make much sense. If it's a refurbished unit, it's not very difficult to actually remove some dust and things like that. I think it's around here. Have a look at that. He just wipes his finger through it. And it doesn't make any sense. If it's refurbished, why wasn't all this removed? Like, I've opened up my own fat PS3 and removed all of this myself. It's not a difficult thing to do. It's pretty simple and basic. Just a few screws, cover pops out. You got to be very gentle with everything, obviously. You don't want to break it, but most of the time, everything was okay. It was pretty good. Easy. You're going to tell me that if you're in the business of refurbishing consoles, you couldn't do the bare minimum? Dust? That's like literally the baseline for any form of refurbishment. It's like the lowest of the low thing that you can do aside from wiping up the console on the outside and trying to polish it down or something. But then at the same time, Jacob R has previously criticized them, so they could easily be saying that all the YouTubers out there hate them and everybody in the gaming community hates them, or we're just jealous of their success or whatever it is. I'm being honest with you, that's not the reason for this. The reason for this is that they charge some of the most ridiculous prices for hardware I've ever seen. I mean, I don't think scalpers are that bad. I think. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong, with the PS5 and stuff like that. I mean, who knows? Maybe these guys themselves just got a whole warehouse full of brand new PS5s that they're going to mark up in a couple of years to like $2,000 and let it go. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but we'll see where it goes from there. Now, I looked into another YouTuber. This guy is called Game Geek YT. Let me subscribe and also like, because I did watch the video and I liked what I saw. And what's interesting over here as well, he's also one of these guys that have Got it in the mail. You can see it's still sealed. That's not really broken. He's just blocking his address. Eventually, he breaks through the box, packaging, whatever it is. And he's basically showing us parts of the console in terms of what should have been refurbished and not. Now, some of these things, when I look at this immediately, you can tell it's not right. That is not refurbished. That's broken, in fact. Now, let's look at him in terms of what his order was. If I remember correctly, it does show it up here somewhere. N64 console only, discounted $90. I really want to own a Nintendo 64. I'd love to get one to South Africa, but I'm seeing this kind of stuff. I'm really skeptical. I really am. So they give you a bit of a manual, which I'm sure you're going to need. The fact that they give those things out already shows you who they're catering this stuff to. It's not meant for gamers and things like that, so it's cosmetically damaged, obviously dropped. That's the little warranty sticker everybody's talking about. So obviously if you peel that off or go through it, the warranty is void. But that's not a reason for the sticker. The reason for that sticker is that they don't want you to look inside the unit and see for yourself exactly what's going on. So let's see what else we've got. Alright, let's see. Come on. So it does appear to work. Did test it out. It's got Pokemon on that. The dreaded warranty sticker. And then more into the video. 99%. Guy's a legend. I'm kidding. I've only got like 70%. I feel a bit embarrassed right now. But yeah. And there we go. Q-tip, alcohol, nice. You can see the metal plate getting cleaned out, refurbished. Only discount this system is, and all its games and accessories are refurbished and cleaned. This is obviously a generic statement that they just applied to everything. It's not individually tailored to the product. They claim that all the games and accessories are refurbished. This guy only purchased the console only. Be that as it may, it still claims to be cleaned and refurbished. Clearly, it's not. Let's have a look at that Q-tip, and there you have it. I think a decision has been reached, boys. dkoldies is 100% a scam, and you shouldn't be spending any of your money over there. And obviously, the only people who are going to be aware of this is anybody who watches YouTube or who actually spends some sort of time in the retro gaming community. Anybody else out there who's looking for a taste of nostalgia or who's just simply following these guys blindly on their YouTube shorts or TikTok, they're going to be taken for a ride. Feel sorry for those guys, and hopefully, I don't know, more people get opened, have their eyes open to this and become more aware of it. So I'm going to leave the video there for now. I know it's a bit long. Sorry about that. And I hope to see you again next time. Till then, have a good day. Bye.